Hi, I'm Nate. In this video, I'd like to demonstrate how to handle user interactions in an mbark flow. There's a companion article to this video, as well as an iOS code sample. You can find the links for both in the description below. Let's open up the iOS sample project. The user flows that mbark manages can be extended to include existing functionality and UI in your app. When a certain event happens in a user flow, we can direct mbark to call a tieback or an event handler. This event handler includes a closure that can respond to registered identifiers. Tiebacks allow us to add many different features to a user flow. We can use them to add authentication, complete in-app purchases, or access an API endpoint. A tieback can be added to your app with a few simple steps. Now, looking at this sample code, we see we've defined a tieback identifier. This will help us determine what events our app responds to. This tieback identifier can be registered on a tieback action in Screen Builder. So we see here the ID is example_tieback. If we were to open up Screen Builder, tap on a button, go to the action section, we see we already have defined a tieback action with the same target ID. So when a user taps on this button, it will call corresponding code in the host app. Let's go back to Xcode. The next step is to define a property that will handle this tieback event. So here we see we've defined tieback handler, which is of type mbark action handler. Now let's see where we create this. We have a helper method down here, and we instantiate it with the ID that we've defined and a handling closure. Now this handling closure calls a local method, showAlert, that displays an alert. Now as soon as the closure is done or the event has been handled, on tieback handler we call the finish method, passing in a success status. We do this because multiple actions can be chained to run sequentially. That's why once an event has been handled, we need to pass control back to the mbark SDK, which will decide what to do next. We do this by calling the finish method. This lets mbark know if the current tieback was completed successfully or not, and that will help it decide which actions run next. Now, let's take a look at this in action. We open up our simulator, we tap our button, and we see that the tieback was successfully called. This was a very simple example, but tieback actions can be combined with other actions to create rich experiences. And the mbark SDK also provides reserved tiebacks that handle specific interactions. You can find out more about these in future videos, where we'll talk about adding links to labels and how to handle in-app purchases.